Will it one day be viewed as one of the loudest strokes in the drumbeat marking the relentless march towards war? Or will this week's clamour over the South China Sea eventually die down amid a flurry of diplomacy? So far, China has continued to thumb its nose against Tuesday's decision, which ruled there's no evidence to back its claims to the region. Here in Australia, the opposition's defence spokesman, Stephen Conroy, has gone against the grain of many in his own party by proposing Australia embark on military operations to support its stance against China's claims. Well, Labor's former Foreign Minister Bob Carr says such a move would make Australia look like America's deputy sheriff in Asia. Anne Barker reports.
China vowed to ignore the tribunal's decision on the South China Sea, and already it's put words into action. In defiance of Tuesday's ruling at The Hague, China has sent 2 passenger planes to the disputed Spratly Islands in the sea between Vietnam and the Philippines. It's a chain of mostly submerged reefs and cays contested by 6 countries. But in the past year, China has dredged sand from the sea floor to turn several reefs into islets and built runways big enough for a passenger plane. China's state television has aired footage of a Chinese Southern airliner and a Hainan Airlines plane landing at Mischief Reef and the Subi Reef. The test flights have proved that the smoothness of the runway and the condition for monitoring and the monitoring facility for navigation completely meet the standards for operation, said China Southern captain Hu Yukui. The world is watching to see what China might do next and whether Tuesday's ruling will only fuel tensions over the South China Sea or bring a period of détente. Many nations, including Australia, are urging China to accept the International Court's decision to avoid escalating conflict in a region of such vital strategic and economic importance. But Labor's defence spokesman Stephen Conroy wants Australia to take a much bolder stance.
Australia should stand up for the international system. It should be prepared to authorise our military to fly through or sail through what are now free waters as determined by an international tribunal. So Australia should stand up and support the international rules-based system, and that is vitally important for Australia with all the trade that we do through the region.
Senator Conroy's statements go against the grain of even his own party and the Foreign Minister Julie Bishop. And Senator Conroy says Australia's response to the tribunal decision shouldn't be dictated by the US.
This is not about joining the US in doing anything. I've explicitly said previously, I don't believe we should participate in a flotilla or anything like that. We should make our own decision that we want to support the international rules-based system, because Australia has been a major beneficiary. And those countries that are able to support the international rules-based system should be prepared to demonstrate it.
China maintains the International Court has no jurisdiction over the matter and its ruling is illegal. It claims up to 60 countries support China's stance, as opposed to just 7 or 8 that oppose it. But many of the nations it cites have reportedly denied supporting China. Others are impoverished African or Asian nations who receive generous Chinese aid and presumably are in no position to disagree. One country that has taken China's side is Pakistan, which agrees the dispute should be resolved through negotiation. Nafiz Zakaria is a Pakistani Foreign Ministry spokesman.
The resolution of the disputes related to South China Sea between the countries concerned and the countries outside this region should respect the negotiations or the process through which the parties concerned want to resolve this issue.
The Wall Street Journal says only 8 nations, in fact, explicitly support China's claim to the South China Sea, including the impoverished African nations of Togo, Gambia, Sudan, Lesotho, Kenya and Niger.
Anne Barker reporting.